You appear to have lost the rest of your bike then.
This is the new invisible bike, very, very light as well. Yeah, I wanted to talk about bar width. It's open for quite a lot of discussion now, and there's quite a few forums talking about bike width. Bar width, I should say, not bike width. So we used to measure like this, pretty much. You know, whichever the width of your shoulders are, generally that's what width your bars are. But now we take measurements slightly different. The way that you can tell whether somebody's on the right length bars or right width bars is whether they rotate their wrists in. So the shoulder and the forearm will always follow in line with each other, and then the hands will then, if it's too wide, they end up doing this. Now, there's loads of discussions and loads of videos from other bike fitters talking about this, and I agree with some of it, and I disagree with some of it as well. So there's no wrong and right answer. It's what works best for you. So as an example, I should technically be riding a 38 bar. So I went from 44s. Again, the reason I used to ride 44s, it used to be a rite of passage almost. So if you rode 44s, you know, you were proper pro, nice and wide, getting out of the saddle, loads of leverage. But the simple fact of the matter is they are too wide for me, because I found that my wrists were leaning like this, but I was in denial for quite a lot of the time. So I went right down to 38s when I was doing some aero analysis, and they really did make a difference. So across the width of the shoulders, the arms followed nicely like this. These are too wide for me, by the way. But what I found is that when I was climbing on the tops here like this, I found I was so restricted. And where I live is very, very hilly. So I like to go up in the saddle, but you find that, you know, my shoulders are rounding in like that. So on the drops, they were brilliant. You know, on the hoods, not so much. I was getting neck ache. So I went in between. So I went from a 44 to a 38, and now I've compromised on a 40, which is on my bikes there. And they are fabulous, really, really good.
What are the benefits of getting it right, apart from what you've said in terms of performance and aero? What about potential discomfort and pain and injury?
Well, again, so if you go too narrow, what you end up doing is you end up rotating your shoulders round, or your shoulders will come round like this. Which a lot of people are encouraged to do to make them more aerodynamic. But off the bike, they end up looking like this and walk around like Mr. Burns. And it also, over a period of time, that prevents you from opening your chest up when you're riding. And one of the things that we talk about here when we do a bike fit is the ability to breathe. So what I'm saying is, don't necessarily go as narrow as the bike fitter tells you to go to. Sometimes it might be worth going a little bit wider, because especially if you're going from 44s down to 38s, which might technically be correct for you, I would say that's too big a jump. So I'd say go to 40s. Yeah, I mean, obviously the more narrow you go, the more aero you are, but you know, it depends on, again, how long you can sustain it for. So you know, it doesn't necessarily mean that narrower is better.